one cared who I was until I put on the mask. And it seems that we are not streaming on Rumble. Something seems to be going on with the implementation of Restream in Rumble.com. Let's try and fix that. Whew. We'll address this in a minute. Don't worry. Hey, Wills, how you doing? Hopefully you can hear me all right. For some reason, it is not working on Rumble. I'm trying to fix that right now. Whew. Yeah, this is kind of the worst version of like a. Never mind. I won't make that joke. We are a family-friendly channel. Oh. So I just removed Rumble. Let's try just signing in again and starting it over. Something went wrong, of course. Alright, well, we are just on YouTube and Twitch today. No Rumble. Sorry about that. I don't think anyone watched on Rumble anyways. It's more just diversifying the field a little bit in case YouTube decides that respirator masks are no longer allowed. First project we gotta get to today has nothing to do with this. It has everything to do with this. Let's see, let's go to cam only. Made myself a little DoorDash sign. Reason why, if we pull up the YouTube channel, we can see a couple interesting things. We did a poll not too long ago asking viewers, you are a DoorDash driver and you come up to the door shown. The glass door opens outward and the main door opens inward. Pretty standard stuff. That's how most double doors work. The delivery instructions are written as follows in 2 languages to try and accommodate anyone who happens to be delivering. Those 2 languages being English and Spanish. Please leave to right of door so that it is easy to open screen door. Or, déjalo al lado derecho para que puedo abrir la puerta. Now, 85% of you got the right answer. I am willing to be generous and say that if you answered, sorry about that. Now you can see what I'm looking at. 85% of you got the correct answer. It was, in fact, C. Putting it on the right side of the door. Now, I would be willing to grant you that A is an alternative correct answer if you were working on the assumption that I was talking stage left or stage right in this case. If I'm coming out of the door, A is on the right side of the door. A couple people said B because if there's a banister and there's a platform to put it, I suppose it doesn't hurt anything to put something there. It's not the correct answer, but some people just can't be reasoned with, I suppose. And then 4% of you are either morons or you are trolling me. I prefer to think that you are trolling me because there is no way in hell or heaven that B is ever the right answer for a DoorDash delivery. If there is a screen door. If it's only the single main door, then it doesn't really matter. But if there is a screen door, there's no way to open the door without knocking the food over. And this is the problem that I brought up in our general chat on the Discord channel, on the Discord server. This is what they do to me, guys. Why? And so what I have to do is I have to get on my hands and knees and crawl so that I can reach under the door, grab the drink, move it to the side, and then be able to then open the door and grab my food. This is ridiculous. Now, there's a strong argument to be made that this is the most unnecessary sign ever devised, because it shouldn't be needed. This is not the right place to relieve the food. But that's what we've found ourselves with. So, we are going to do some live testing today. And we're going to order some DoorDash with our new and improved sign. This makes it completely idiot-proof. And I don't want to talk bad about anyone in the service industry. I'm in the service industry myself, and it's not great. But I mean, come on. The one thing you got to do is drop the food off. Don't put it in the wrong spot, right? So, I will be right back. Oh, wait. Actually, sorry. I do have to talk about what this is made of. This is made out of light gray ASA. This is from a new channel sponsor called Coex 3D. They are an American-made 3D printing filament manufacturer. And usually with ASA or ABS, you'll get some warping where it will warp off the build plate. In this case, we had the weird scenario where it actually warped convexly, which I don't know, it's not normal, but worked out pretty well for a print this big to be this flat. Is actually very, very impressive. So far I am very happy with this ASA filament. Again, this is from Coex 3D. I will be putting out a dedicated video talking about them in the near future. I had a great conversation with their CEO, Todd, and we've got some really cool perks for channel members, or for channel viewers coming in the next few days. But anywho, I gotta go set this out on my porch, and then we're gonna place a DoorDash order. I'll be right back. Whew. Whew. All right. Now, for the next order of business, I'm going to place my last DoorDash order because I looked through my account and realized that I'm spending way too much on DoorDash food. So I will be canceling my account after this to force myself to be more fiscally responsible, but if this sign works, I will have made DoorDash better for everybody. Anyone can print this sign, and they can make their door idiot-proof. All right. What are we hungry for? I'm feeling Greek food. There's this place, the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Never actually been there in person. I've only ever ordered it on DoorDash. But they're pretty good. I like them a lot. Oh my gosh. You know, they don't make these things for running a marathon. There's a reason why people don't want to wear these super long. Oh. Just had chicken pot pie. Nice. Classic. Can't go wrong with a pot pie. I'm already a little fat, so I already breathe heavy. This is not helping. I really need to get to the reason why I'm wearing this, because this is not fun. Alright, there we go. DoorDash ordered. So why am I wearing a respirator? Well, I'm going to grab you by the face and change your perspective a bit. If anyone says anything about the pile of dirty laundry in the corner, I'm canceling stream immediately. Okay, let's try and get this table positioned so we're not doing any lewd content. Gotta cover my groin area. This stuff is extremely toxic. It is not good for you. And neither is this stuff. We've got Weld-On Free and vinyl adhesive. Most of this stuff is printed with PLA, and there is some specialized glues like 3D Gloop that is supposed to work really well with PLA, but I don't want to buy any. I already have this stuff for PETG, and these two are supposed to work with both, so we're going to try those out. And this has been a long-awaited update on this particular project. This is, in fact, the constellation. Hopefully it will start to look like a constellation here in just a little bit. We are going to need to trim off some supports. Always a fun time. And I need to remind myself to try and do things in frame as much as possible, which is always a great time too. And the PLA that I used to make all of this is also from Coex 3D. Aside from some minor issues caused by my printer settings being incorrect, this stuff has been very easy to use. That's kind of a given for PLA though. It would actually be more surprising if it were not easy to use. It occurs to me that I don't actually need to be wearing the mask while I'm just removing supports, but I already did the Bane line at the start of the stream, so I guess we're committed to this shtick until we're done with this part of the stream. Oh no, that's... Okay, there was some delamination. I think this was caused by a clog. I was not very smart, and I used a cardboard spool in my AMS. And I think at one point it got stuck. So I was hoping this wouldn't happen, but might as well bite the bullet. I'm just going to reprint this part and give the filament a fair chance later. Let's work on a different part. I brought up a bigger table so I'd have more room, but I think I still need a bigger table still. Here we go. Let's get these two glued together. This forms the central corridor of the Connie. So we've got bottom floor, let's see, bottom floor, middle floor, or I guess actually top floor. There's not a floor above this, but because we have some top covers in my files, they are labeled as bottom, middle, top. And let's see, the sworn, I had some did I really not? Could have sworn I put in some bow tie geometry to tie this stuff together, but I'm not seeing where those are supposed to be. So that's kind of cool, I guess. That's on me. I forgot to do that, I guess. So the way that I use this solvent is I actually use this hypodermic needle, and I just draw some up. There's not a whole lot left in this here bottle. There we go. That should be plenty. And then this works by dissolving the filament in the local area. So I just kind of paint with the needle a little bit. Get enough on there that it's all wet. Do the same thing to the other piece. And you want to work quickly because the stuff does evaporate rather quickly. Alright. And then we're going to take some rubber bands and use these to hold everything together. Get a bit more attention on those joints. And while it's still not totally fused, or you know, just break the fusion, why not? Want to make sure everything is lined up the way you want it. And then as a final thing, I'll use it like a caulking gun. And just kind of drag the needle along the seam. And with this, you can rely on capillary action a bit to help you out. There's no shot I'm going to be able to show you that very well on camera, but if I put more along that part of the seam, it just kind of sucks in. Alright, we're going to let that one set up. I just know that is going to fall off at some point, but I don't have a much better option. The part that broke is the one that mates to this. So that's swell. I'm gonna, well, we can do this backside. But I need to remove the supports off of this. Ooh, projectile supports. Super cool. Oh, come on. I can feel it. You wanna come out of there. You just need a little convincing. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm coming at it from the other angle. That's working really well. Remember, kids, always cut towards yourself. Golly, that one's real stuck. Not anymore. Now it's gone. Now, the beauty of this uncomfortably flesh-colored plastic here is that I did not pick this color. This is part of Coex3D's mystery PLA line. And what happens is when you add, because they are a smaller operation, when they want to swap colors of what's actively being produced, they don't stop the machine. What they do is they just take the old color out and add the new color in. But that means that there is already a bunch of filament that is already being processed that has yet to finish the production line. And so before the new color comes out, there's a transitory period where you get these kind of weird in-between colors. And that is actually what this mystery PLA is. They sell it at a discount with the understanding that you're not getting any kind of guarantee on color. Properties, all the same. It's still PLA. It's still going to be, just fine for any kind of cosmetic stuff you're looking at making. You're just not going to get a guaranteed color. But here's the thing. For a lot of stuff, that's actually great. Because if I can get discounted filament, and I know that I'm going to paint it anyways, then all that really means is I get filament for cheaper. So I think that this is a great way to turn what would otherwise be a waste product and turn it into something that offers value to both the customer and Coex3D. So I actually bought quite a bit of this stuff in preparation for making these videos because I'm worried that once word spreads about it, that I won't be able to get much of it for myself anymore. So I've already stockpiled a little bit. But here we go. Now we can see how these go together. And the supports came off very cleanly. That looks really good. So now I've got some little bow tie pieces. And these work just like a bow tie in woodworking. These bridge the gap between these two pieces. And provide just a little more support for what would otherwise be a pretty sketchy connection. But it looks like I didn't do a super great job of removing the supports in those slots. So, I don't know. See how this goes. That is a bit more solvent than I wanted to put there. A little bit of filament still stuck in that slot. All right, more rubber bands. Probably start from this side because I can hook it around something. Oh, that one broke. Please, sir, can I have some more? Yes, you can have some more rubber bands because I got a whole bag of them. Okay, there's a little bit of a gap. Don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. But that might not create the best weld. So, I mean, 3D printing isn't the most accurate process. There's always going to be some remedial stuff you have to do. Now, this is really the grand experiment of tonight. This is Bamboo PETG, and this is Coex 3D PLA. These materials typically do not like to stick to each other, but I'm hoping that if I use a solvent, I can get them to bond when they typically would not want to. And I think the move here would be to get both of these onto the fuselage and then put rubber bands across both of them. That is really reassuring though, guys. It does feel like it's sticking. Don't screw up my work. Now these shouldn't need a whole lot of pressure to hold them in place. It should be more akin to just contact cement. Oh, that one broke. These are really old rubber bands, by the way. You know, I mean, I don't want to say I cheaped out for the show tonight, but I didn't send my best. Okay. So there we go. Two main engine bodies mounted to what will be the top of our Constellation. And I think with the parts that have survived the abuse so far, I can get the top cover made, and then I think we're going to call it good. Let's check on our door dash though. Okay, you haven't missed it, still on its way. So, this is essentially the same stuff as the Weldon 3, just slightly different solvents. This one I clearly put the lid on tighter so I have more of it. Yeah. Clear these out. Ow. That was pokey. The syringe is moving much more liberally now, which makes it a lot easier to put too much on it. And this is going to feel a little loosey-goosey until I get the whole cover assembled. So I do need to work kind of quickly here. Now we have a massive seam all down the middle. The stress is palpable, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get these started on the bow ties. Get those areas softening up. And then get those in place. And we'll do the rest of we'll get some rubber bands on it to hold it together. Don't do that! No! Crap! Everything is occurring as I have foreseen. No, it's not! No, it really is. Ah, crap! Stop doing that! Okay. Not cool. Come on. What is that quote about insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. If I just add more of them, it'll work. There. Now it's got flat side down. Some serious warping going on at the seams, which doesn't bode well for my little creation here. Definitely going to need to use quite a bit of filler. All right. That broke. Cool. I'm going to carefully transport these downstairs and put them in the garage where they can cure without gassing anybody out. Okay, the good news is I can't smell any solvent, so I think the ventilation that I had going through this room was working pretty good. Just gonna set these off to the side for another day. Here's good.
forgot to narrate what I was just doing. Went to go grab a wipe so I could wipe this down again. And there we go. Okay, now let's get you guys back up. Almost. You get it a little higher. Probably too high. Well, that actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? All right. So now, a million of me on the screen. And all the hustling around, I must have touched my glasses or something. My glasses. I can't see without my glasses. All right, let's check the DoorDash, see how our experiment's doing. Still waiting. Goodness. All right, well, let's move into the next thing I wanted to do. So I actually want to do, for the first time ever, a react of another creator's video here on the channel. Now, I will be honest, I have already seen this video. As we've kind of discussed in previous streams, the way I do reacts is that I really want to just make sure that I'm adding something to it. So I'll generally pre-watch it, and then I will, and then I'll give my thoughts on it afterwards. But this is from a creator called Kev Does, and sorry, let me start over, because I actually want to record this too, because I'm going to upload this as a separate video. So, welcome to the first installment of An Engineer Reacts. I can say that now. I graduated. Yay! This is a video from Kev Does, and Kev is actually a biker. So, if we take a quick gander at his channel, you see that most of his content is actually biking related. Biking in different locations, particularly the Dominican Republic. And he actually made this video not too long ago where he 3D prints a copy of a very expensive Canon Aero bike, or Canyon Aero bike. These are carbon fiber. Thanks, Wills. Yeah, feels really good to be graduate. Woo! But this is a $6,500 bike, and he's dived right into the deep end. Kev has not done any CAD, any 3D printing, or any design work along these veins whatsoever. So he's given himself the admittedly self-imposed YouTuber deadline of being able to get this done in just over a week. But this guy just exudes enthusiasm and charisma, and I really just wanted to kind of take a look at his process through this, and then talk about things that I've learned that could help Kev Does do better if he does a version 2 of this bike. Nor do I. Spoiler alert, it's not, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. The optimism's great. Oh no, you can't hear the desktop audio again? Okay, hold on. Let me fix this.
Some great tutorials, and after about 6 hours, I used my new 3D modeling powers to follow along with his tutorial and modified it to look a little more.
All right, Wills. Tell me you heard that snippet there. Talking about Too Tall Toby. Okay, all right.
More like the Canyon Arrow
Lost the audio
handlebar.
level,
Okay,
so
it's not
drop that
perfect.
down
I
a
don't know
bit.
how to fix these little weird twisty lines right now, but we got something.
Okay, so sorry. Let me go back there. Too Tall Toby is he's an Onshape expert. He's really good, and he has a great list of videos if you're trying to teach yourself how to use Onshape. So that would probably be one of the first resources that I would send someone to if they had not done any CAD work in the past. So good on you, Kev, for finding that on your own. There are a couple other resources that I would send you to as well. One of them is... let's see, let me do this on another window so I'm not flashing my YouTube history in front of everybody quite so blatantly. Teaching Tech and Maker's Muse. So these are two of my favorite creators for CAD, 3D modeling, and anything like that. Teaching Tech is going to be more focused on 3D printing, but he does show all kinds of tips and tricks on how to CAD specifically in Onshape. Let's see, I want to find a recent video of his. Yeah, how to design and 3D print custom vacuum cleaner nozzles. Great video on doing lofts and a lot of the basic functions of Onshape to make very useful attachments for a vacuum. The other one is Maker's Muse, and the videos that you'll find on his channel that are CAD related are going to be more geared towards mechanisms. So gears, this one on a Scotch yoke was really interesting. So two fantastic creators, highly recommend them. Great resources if you're trying to learn the basics of CAD. Now what you ran into with this section here,
Who had some great tutorials, and after about 6 hours, I used my new 3D modeling powers to follow along with his tutorial and modified it to look a little more like the Canyon Arrow handlebar. And
Okay, it's not perfect. I don't know.
okay, so these kind of ugly lines here, that's just because it didn't know how to make that loft the way that you were telling it to. So we can pull up Onshape and use my personal account, not my work account. And let's see, can I find one right off the bat that I know I used a loft in? Probably not. So let's just create a very basic one then. So 2 basic sketches, about as basic as they come, right? What you're doing is you're doing a loft between 2 profiles. And in this case, it did work out somewhat reasonably, but anytime there's a mismatch between the number of vertices between any 2 profiles, Onshape isn't always going to know what to do there. So you have this option here called connections, and these purple lines are the connections that currently exist, and it's actually done a pretty good job. But let's say, for instance, that I actually want this line to go more along the contour, then we can actually adjust it like so. So if we go back to yours, Kev, you have a vertex here and here, and then you have a curve back here, but you also have 2 vertices here, and then on the other side of the semicircle. And you're bringing that down to a similar shape, but it is a little different. And so that mismatch is what's causing this error to pop up. I bet, though, if you pull up your document, go to this loft feature and do the connections, you can reroute those and be able to get the shape that you're looking for.
I don't know how to fix these little weird twisty lines right now, but we got something. Yes, day 1 in the books.
But for day 1, that is really impressive. Most people are still learning how to make the Blender equivalent of the basic cube on their first day of CAD, so you should feel really good that you got this far in 1 day. In fact, I know some people in my graduating class of engineers that have not done anything as complex as that handlebar. So, good for you. Now, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. He does consult with another guy who has done a 3D printed bike. His friend points out that his wheels aren't going to be super great with the way that he was currently designing them. Here we go.
This all looks like it's working well.
So he's printing the tire sections out of TPU, and he's using a dowel and socket connection for putting them together. So the tires being printed in 4 sections with a simple dowel between them, and the dowel is integrated into one of the pieces, so it's more like a peg, right? That does work, but it's not going to be the best connection. That's why I pulled up this video. This is another fantastic creator. Need It, Make It. This guy is squarely focused on engineering, but this video, adapting the best woodworking joints for 3D printing, is going to be a gold mine for coming up with good, strong connections for 3D printing. I love how when you click on something, though, in YouTube, it doesn't actually go straight to the frame that it showed you. So here he shows a sliding dovetail. Now, if you were woodworking, this would be kind of a nightmare to make. A dovetail at a acute angle like this. But for 3D printing, this actually works really, really well. And this alone would be a significant step up from the peg and hole connection that you have here. But you can even go crazier with it. If we jump to some of these connections further ahead, you can create some really complex geometry very easily in CAD, and these are going to result in much stronger connections for your 3D printed parts. So if anyone's looking at making their own connections like this, this is a great jumping off point for figuring out how to do that. And that would make this tire hold together a lot better. And that's going to be a theme that we see with the other parts, is they are all kind of held together with these dowels. And that's going to contribute to some of the weaknesses that show up in the final design. Okay, here we're trying to assemble for the first time the rim and tire. And for the rim pieces, he actually did use a dovetail. But we're going to learn something about PLA, which is what the frame pieces are printed with.
Oh my god, it works!
I love seeing how happy he is in some of these moments, though. I mean, this is the feeling
Dude,
of
are you
making something
serious?
yourself.
That looks so good. And that's solid. That's not going anywhere. Oh.
And then it immediately cracked. Oh no! Okay. So PLA, not the right filament for this job. PLA is fantastic anytime you need something that is strong, rigid, and you don't care about temperature. All right, so the first demerit against PLA for making a bike is going to be temperature and UV stability. You're going to want something that resists the sun a lot better than PLA if you're going to make it into a bike. And so for that, I'd recommend something like PETG, but even better, ABS. And ABS is cool because you can actually solvent weld it very easily with acetone. So you can get a much stronger bond between two pieces of ABS than you can with just dovetailing them together like this, which is what we were doing earlier on the show, actually. Now, the other thing about PLA is it's extremely rigid and very brittle when it breaks. So, generally speaking, from a safety perspective, if something is going to break, you want it to break more gracefully, because that gives you a bit more of a warning so you can get people away from the thing that's about to fail before it causes damage. In this case, if you were going down the freeway on this bike and it suddenly fails and does so brittly and catastrophically like it would do, that's going to be you on the pavement. Whereas if it necks before it breaks, which is what ABS is more prone to do, then what would likely happen is the crash would be slower, causing less damage to you, but also giving you a chance to maybe even catch yourself. You know, it might be that the frame breaks in sections, and so you're able to kind of just land on your feet. You know, that would be the ideal scenario. The other thing that I don't want to say we've got wrong here, because this is Kev's first time doing anything like this, but one thing that could be better in the future is paying attention to print orientation. 3D prints are what we call anisotropic, meaning that they do not share the same properties in all three perpendicular directions. Not cardinal directions, I don't know what I was saying. Your print is going to be much stronger along the XY plane than along any plane that involves Z. Okay? And so if you pay attention to how he has these parts oriented on the printer, we can see that leaves a bit to be desired. Most of these you're probably going to want to lay on their side. Now, the downside of that is it's going to require a lot of support to make a 3D printed bike frame. But you're making that choice between, is it going to work or not, versus the amount of support that you're going to be losing. So that is just one of the trade-offs you have to accept. He enlists several people to lend him their printers, which printing is not a super fast process. It does take some time.
We're near as good as Canyon's actual arrow, so Canyon, please don't sue me.
It's 6 a.m.
This scene is just
Jasmine
heartbreaking.
is working out, and she stopped me and told me that the Creality print failed. She described it as a big ball. Oh my goodness.
No!
That is catastrophic. Look at
That looks like it's about a kilogram of filament. It could be less. It could be more like... But I'd say it's at least 500 grams, right? I'd say it's between 500 to a full kilogram. Which just means that $10 to $20 just went out the door with that print. So it happens to all of us. Much less nowadays, because a lot of printers are now shipping with cameras built in that do a really good job at catching fails like this. With this being a newer Creality, I am kind of surprised that it didn't catch it. But maybe it's not configured the way that I'm thinking it is. But I do know, like my SV08, for instance, that I've been showing sneak peeks of on the channel, that does have built-in filament monitoring through Obico, and that has worked really good. So it really sucks, but this is also a loaner printer, so it's possible that he didn't have the same access to monitoring it like he does with the A1 that is his own printer, and that could also be contributing here. But happens to all of us. It really sucks when it does, but it's a lesson that hopefully you only learn once.
Creality's defense, I did not orient this, thinking about it now, in a way.
Okay, all right, so that's a good example. Let's see. Oh my gosh, why is it so hard to like find just the frame that I want?
Is that on the stove?
In Creality's defense, I did not orient.
Oh man, that is like ninja reflexes. So about what I was saying with print orientation, this great example. This did contribute to it failing because anytime you have a large cantilever or an unsupported beam, which is what this is as soon as it leaves this joint, that is going to contribute to higher print failure rates, but that's not actually the part that I want to focus on. This part here that's laying on its side has a much better orientation from the perspective of strength than its buddy does here that's printed vertically. All the Z height layers are going to be cutting across this, which means that anywhere along this vertical section, it's going to be much more prone to catastrophic failure. Whereas this, you're getting much more of those long uninterrupted layer lines, and those are going to be much stronger overall and contribute to a much more reliable frame. So because you had the week long deadline, that probably prevented you from being able to space these out more. But if you do a version 2, definitely want to take layer orientation to consideration and just take your time with it. Let things print the way that they are going to print with strength in mind. So lay them all a little flatter like this and they'll be much stronger. And also make sure you're using the right filament. Don't use PLA for something like this.
This, thinking about it now, in a way that was conducive to the print not failing.
So I'm going to jump ahead again. He has some more failures.
Look, again, the edges are lifting up.
Which means this print is gonna fail. This is now becoming a problem, man, because that's twice that this piece has failed, and I don't know why. It's 10 hours now. It should have been done. I'm printing something else.
Okay, so he has another print failure, and I'm going to spoil the ending here because I don't want to just rip off this guy's entire video. I do want you guys to go and watch it yourself. I mean, even though Kev clearly doesn't need my help, he's doing really well with these views. But he does successfully diagnose on his own why the A1 was failing, and it shows some real engineering prowess in being able to do that. What was causing it is this window up here was open as a means of venting the fumes out from these prints going on, and that was allowing cold air to come in through the window and fall down onto the printer. And that temperature differential was making it so that the A1 just wasn't able to compensate for those fluctuations, and that was causing it to lift up. So closing the window, moving the printer to a different location, A1 was back in business. Now, from the perspective of printer design, that's why a lot of newer printers are coming with enclosures built in. A good example is the Creality that he has there with him as well. And I think by this point he's also acquired another friend's X1C. But the great thing about an enclosure is it eliminates those kinds of fluctuations across the board for the most part. Right? You still need to do some work and monitor it yourself, but that's going to be one of the major benefits of an enclosed printer is that it's much less sensitive to the temperature fluctuations of its environment. But again, good on you, Kev, for successfully figuring that out. That's something that trips up a lot of new printers and didn't stop you, man. Now, this is probably actually... No, I want to jump back and take a look at the wheel design that he was working on. Now, this is probably where I would advise you that not relying solely on 3D printed parts is going to be your best route. Now, I know we're trying to make a Canyon Aero at a discount, but that technically means that anything less than $6,500 is going to be money in our pocket, right? A big problem that you're going to have, particularly with a wheel like this, is your printer's not going to be able to hold the same kinds of tolerances that you would get with a professionally machined metal bearing hub and rim and rim spokes. So if let's see, gotta pull out Photoshop. Ba-na-na-na. Oh, that's way too small. No one's going to be able to see that. All right, so what we've got here is a rear view of the wheel hub and how it connects to the frame. With professionally machined parts, this gap right here can be much smaller, where with a 3D printed part, it's going to be significantly bigger, just because you can't meet the same level of tolerances, so you're going to have to give it more space to be able to do its thing. What that means is if you apply a sideways load, for instance, you're pedaling or you take a turn, anything that causes the weight to shift at all, that's going to create a moment where your center of gravity is somewhere up here and that's moving, say, to the left, right? That means that we've created a moment arm across the middle of our rod here, where the frame is going to want to move like this, and the wheel is going to want to resist that because it's being held to the ground by the ground, right? So it's got the spokes that connect it to the ground. It's going to have an opposite force moving it in that direction, which means that we have a lot of force right here and right here, right on our 3D printed hub. And that's, as you can see in this design, that's going to be one of the skinniest sections of this 3D printed wheel, which means that it's going to have even less support to resist those forces. So if you do a version 2, what I would highly recommend is just getting some professionally manufactured wheels and using those instead, because what that will allow you to do is it eliminates a lot of variables that you no longer have to think about with the construction of the wheel itself. The bearings, the axle. All you have to do is focus on making a frame that mates to it in a satisfactory way. And because you're using a machined part, what you could even do is you could just use the axle itself to drive its own threads through your 3D printed frame. And that's going to be a much more solid connection than what you're able to achieve with purely 3D printed parts. And I would say the same goes for the all those twisty bits going through the head tube. Like, you probably just want to put a properly machined bearing in the head of the frame, and same thing goes for your pedal crank arms and the pedals. Like, it's okay to use some off-the-shelf parts. That's going to get you much closer to having a 3D printed bike than a bike that just won't be able to exist on its own. Like, even in the guy that he talks to, if you look at that guy's bike, it's still using a lot of off-the-shelf metal hardware to make it possible. Otherwise, you're going to have to divert in a very big way from what the Canyon Aero is. All right, let's jump back to where we were. Ish. Even just getting all this stuff printed in a week is pretty cool. This guy was really just cruising along to make this happen. But he's got 3D printed single gear crank arms. I've already talked about those. I don't think that's a good idea. Same goes for the rear hub. But the fact that you designed all this in a week with no prior experience is, again, really, really impressive. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about here, though, is if you're willing to go a little further from what a 3D printed bike would be, you can use this frame as a core, and you can do a carbon fiber layup around it. And that would give you a much stronger frame overall, but that might be going a little too far off what we consider a 3D printed bike to be. So I understand if you don't want to do something like that, but it would be a really cool way to make your own carbon fiber bike with minimal expenses by just 3D printing a core and then doing a layup around it. So that could be a video topic all on its own. Maybe that's something I should do. Never mind. I take that idea back. I'm going to do that myself. But again, 3D print orientation makes a big difference. We can see how a lot of these were printed vertically, and it's just not going to help. Then we have some tragedies along the way of assembling this. He even made a TPU printed chain, which is kind of insane. Not a very great idea. I don't see that working very well, but it is cool that he tried it.
The bike is officially completely printed. Let's put this bike together. Look how badly that broke.
Yeah, man.
Yo, this is working out so well. Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity. Nice.
Again, I really recommend you go and watch this guy's video in full. As you can tell, he just exudes enthusiasm and charisma. It's something that I need to learn from as a creator. He does a really good job of presenting this. All the ups and downs. I had a great time watching it the first time, and it's just bringing a smile to my face again watching it with you guys.
Oh, no. I was done at this point.
PLA, man. PLA and print orientation. Oh, and tolerance. That's the other thing. You can't make things to be exactly the same size and have them work out in real life. What I did with the Constellation parts that we were working with before in the show is I gave those a 0.13 millimeter offset for the bow ties to make it so that those bow ties could actually snap in. That's because when you print something, it's going to shrink naturally, and so you need to plan as best you can for that as well. Otherwise, you're going to end up with situations like this where things just are not going to fit together.
It had been 6 hours of this. The frame had a bunch of cracks, one wheel was destroyed, and I knew the other would do the same, so I quit. I called my wife and my family and told them that the bike was breaking and there was nothing else that I could do. So my goal of riding my dream bike on my birthday was a failure. But I guess I just needed a little break, because after about 2 hours, I came back to my senses and realized what I had to do.
Dude.
And that's another engineering lesson. Your first prototype is never going to be your last prototype. So, I wish I could say it gets easier, but I'm still finding that I'm making really dumb mistakes like this all the time. Working on the air guns that I do, you miss one dimension or you forget to change it, and then it shows up in your printed prototype, and it's like, oh yeah, okay. Well, I guess that's why V2, V3, V4, V69, that's why all those exist, is because you're always gonna miss something.
Engineering a bike is freaking hard, man. How did our imaginary non-measurements work? Oh, yo, that's so perfect.
And that's almost a more dangerous scenario, is when something does happen to work the first time. There's some lessons that maybe you didn't get to learn along the way. And so you should always try and do a retrospective anyways and see, this didn't go wrong, but how could it have gone wrong? And still just try and see if there's some wisdom you can glean that way.
Oh! Get out of here!
But it spins.
The back wheel spins, baby! Yeah!
I mean,
Oh, I'm glad I finished putting it together.
Really pretty cool.
What? Damn, that's so cool! I made this! Bike assembled! Ish. Even though this bike was broken everywhere, I still wanted to see if it can support some weight and I can ride it. Oh! No. So here's the bike. 6 cracks in the wheels, 5 cracks in the frame, no way to hold your seat, no chain, a front wheel that doesn't spin, and handlebars you can't trust, but I made this! We made this! I think we all know how this is gonna end, but we all wanted to see the bike break. Let's just do it. That's too tall for me. I can't... Thank you, baby. 3, 2, 1. That was amazing.
All right, so that's the last of the video that I'm going to share, because you guys really need to go watch it yourself. We saw a brief snippet of his wife there. These guys are relationship goals. I don't want to spoil it. You're just going to have to go and watch the video yourself, find out what I'm talking about. But she is really sweet in this video, and I hope we can all find someone who takes care of us like she does. But now, with breaking the bike, imagine doing that going 25 miles an hour on a busy street. That's why you don't want to use PLA. It's still probably going to hurt when it breaks and it's made out of ABS, but we're going to have a much better chance of getting a functional bike out of something more robust than PLA. But that has been this first installment of An Engineer Reacts. I hope you enjoyed it. And make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And allow me to continue stalling while I find this button. There we go. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. And special shout out to the channel members. Your support makes my content making career possible. So it helps. It's the best way to directly support the channel, and I can't do it without you guys. So if you want to see more stuff like this, you know what to do. But with that, this is Odd Job Entertainment signing off. But not for the stream. This is part of a larger stream, so you could go and watch that too. But I just want to make sure that people who are watching me currently know that once the outro's finished playing, I'm still going to be online, so don't go anywhere. All right, how's that for live video production? Never done that before. I don't know if I like it. I'm gonna be honest. Surely my food is here now, right? Yes, let's go! Wait, what the heck? Where's the rest of it? They got the drink there. I see the drink on the porch. Where's my bag of food? Okay. It's here! I think this Dasher must have been trolling me, man. I took a photo. This is what I saw. So it was on the it was on the other side of the sign. So it was there. But it's like I don't know, like why didn't you just take the photos so that both things of food could be seen? But the important thing is, you saw how quick I was able to get that food? That's because this wasn't in front of my door. Like, I was actually able to get the food. Will's is saying mukbang time. You know it, baby. I am starving. I haven't eaten a whole lot today. And I knew that I was going to be doing this test live with you guys, so I've been kind of looking forward to splurging a little bit. Also, my shoulder's killing me. Still have that going on. Don't get old, folks. It is a scam. But I'm going to pop some ibuprofen, and my liver will thank me when I'm older, I'm sure. Now, generally, ibuprofen is actually pretty safe as long as you are taking it with food. And, you know, not taking way more than you should. can't undo the knot. On. I really didn't want anyone getting into this bag. This knot was tied with hate. Alright, so we got some pita bread, some hummus, which I've learned recently is pretty much just blended chickpeas, so I need to just start making this myself. Which now that I'm canceling my DoorDash account, might have a chance to do. Got myself the a Hero. And some feta cheese fries. Real good stuff. Let's see. You know, I don't know what streamers usually do when they have to eat. Like, I've tried just like eating, but then I feel like self-conscious that people are watching me eat. I did watch Moist Critical or Penguin Zero or Charles White, and he'll just cut the stream and then come back. But as long as no one mentions the dirty laundry pile behind me. Actually, no, it's not dirty laundry. It's the clean laundry. That makes it worse. Dirty laundry is properly organized over to my left there. It's the clean laundry I haven't put away yet. Yeah, the thing is though, is like, if I have a video playing, then I feel like I need to like add commentary. But there's not a whole lot to talk about with this last one, so we might as well have it playing, huh? Which means I gotta put the headphones back on.
I like making missions because it's
forgot to turn off the
an
outro.
intellectual challenge and it's a creative challenge.
Yeah, I forgot to turn
I
that
like
off.
playing through the content and seeing things through a player's eyes and trying to craft an experience.
Do you think players like missions?
I hope players like missions.
Do players like missions, guys?
In Alpha 411, we are going to
Where
be
is this
dropping
location?
about
It shows
60
up all
new
throughout this
missions.
video. I
And
haven't
it's going
seen
to
that
be
myself.
our biggest drop since 4.0. Let's start with our big headliner, Hunt the Polaris. Hunt the Polaris is a mission where the Frontier fighters have stolen a UEE Polaris, which was bound for Invictus, and they're trying to escape with it and get it back to Pirate. Your job is to stop them.
We can't let them get away.
In order to stop them, you are chasing them around Stanton. You have to search for them, you have to ambush them, you have to defend other ships from them as well as they continue on their path to Pyro.
When you encounter the Polaris, it won't be alone. It will have some Frontier fighter friends
area not added
as
to live
backup.
Let's get the hell out of here.
What's really cool about this mission is you don't even have to do it alone.
The Polaris quantumed away.
The UE have sent their own guys as well, and there's a hammerhead that, if you keep alive, will help keep you alive too. I think it'll be a really good test of just how strong your friends are, and yourself too.
Next, there are 12 different patrol contracts split between Headhunters and Foxwell.
Foxwell being the faction that gives you the legal version of these missions, and Headhunters will give you the illegal version.
Foxwell Enforcement, they've hit hard times, so their background checks and whoever they hire is a bit more loosey-goosey.
Headhunters are now operating for the first time in Stanton. The Headhunters want you to patrol an area of space that they consider their own and make sure their interests are allowed to operate safely.
The patrol missions in 411 are a little different than our standard missions. We wanted a mission that was not linear. You will go to a point throughout space, and it will randomly generate between our pool of current objectives. Currently, there's 4 objectives that it can generate between. So you'll go to point number 1. It will pick between one of those 4 objectives for you to complete. Once you complete it, it will send you to another point in space where it will generate another objective, and so on until you've completed 3 points.
Scans are showing outlaws inbound.
Objective 1 is a traditional kill all the ships that appear. That doesn't really require any more explanation. Objective 2 is protect a ship that's under attack from the bad guys. Objective 3 is a new objective called Search and Destroy. And Objective 4 is what we're calling the empty objective.
Not seeing anything.
Where you show up and actually nothing happens. I have to say that so people don't think it's a bug. Search and Destroy is a new objective that we've created.
Chat, why would we think that that's a bug? Is it maybe that as it is, missions break and then nothing happens anyways, a lot of the time anyways?
We wanted an objective that was less heavy on combat.
The player will go to the location and they'll receive a certain number of areas to discover. It's up to the player to go there and ping and scan with their ship scanners and discover what's going to happen. The player may discover friendly probe, that's one of the UEEs. You're just going there to make sure it's all operational.
Everything is in order?
Or you may discover that there's a hostile one. It's been hacked by another organization and you're there to destroy it.
Seems this satellite's been hacked by outlaws. You're gonna have to take it out.
In some cases, if you destroy it, then the people who own...
You're gonna have to take it out.
In some cases, if you destroy it, then the people who own the satellite won't be very happy with you, so they'll QT in and start attacking you.
Target destroyed.
We're hoping that if this mission goes over well, we can slowly add to that pool to make Patrol a sort of mission that will continue to expand upon until we have, say, 15 or 20 random objectives that can trigger. But really, we're only going to do that if you guys like it, so let us know how you feel.
I'm Lucas Baransko, but my students call me Gilly.
Longtime players might remember Gilly from the tutorial from way back in the day. Gilly is a very experienced combat veteran. It was really good to have him in the game the first time round.
Gilly also appears in 3 new Invictus training exercises where you'll be able to be shown what a patrol mission could be like.
Prepare to engage.
This is not a tutorial, but it is a series of increasingly difficult combat scenarios.
These 3 missions are so that the player can feel like they're part of the UEE, so that they can get a taste of what it's like to be part of the organization that protects Stanton.
Congrats on completing another part of your course.
These are just here while the Invictus event is on to add a little bit more flavor.
There are also now 12 new ambush contracts, also split between Foxwell and Headhunters.
An ambush mission is where you lie in wait for your target to appear before striking them fast and hard.
So it's a mission for...
No, for tactical masterminds.
Sailor Moon hoodie is
statement.
So Foxwell is giving these ambush missions because they are being paid by outside contractors to take down dangerous individuals around the Phantom and Pyro systems, which are causing trouble for their clients. And Handhunters, well, they just ambush anyone. They want stuff.
When you get to the ambush location, you will be asked to hide inside a new high emission zone.
Which means that the enemy can't detect you when they jump in. So first there's a wave of scouts that shows up, and they're gonna scan for their valuable transport to arrive on time. And since they don't detect you, they give the all clear. The target arrives, and that's the moment you jump out of the high emission zone, which will make you appear on radar, but it's too late for them to escape, and that's when you take down the cargo hauler. I'm really excited about these missions because the high mission zones will unlock further options for anyone to make really cool missions, both PvE and PvP related.
I've seen that. Foxwell has been pumping out videos recently showing
Many of these new missions have a chance to spawn an ace pilot.
Scouts just picked up a ship that we've tagged as extremely dangerous.
They are either aligned with the Headhunters or the UEE. You won't always know when they're going to arrive. So they will always be a sort of rogue variable inside those missions that you'll have to deal with.
Talking about their skill levels.
Oh yeah, their skills crank. I can't crank it any harder. So skilled is definitely their name.
And if you are lucky enough to be able to take him out, you can loot his corpse, and he will have some considerable amount of guild scrip on him. These scrip are in-game items that you can pick up and collect. You are getting 1 scrip for the council and 1 scrip for the mercenary guild. And you can use them as currency for collector missions.
Because that makes the
really
Antares
wants these guild scrip.
far and away just better.
As part of
than
Invictus,
the
we
Scorpius
are adding our very
for a
first
solo
ones
pilot.
as a kind of scavenger hunt around the
And it
halls.
also gives a solo pilot.
We're also
a
giving them away
massive
as mission rewards for the new combat missions.
other
So there will be even more ways to get those new collector ships. Oh, there's also new collector ships this patch, but I don't know what they are.
I do.
Of course, it wouldn't be Invictus without visiting the Invictus halls.
This year's Invictus Launch Week returns to Area 18. As you're in the shuttle and approaching the Battle Convention Center, you get met with the new slogan of this year's Invictus. As you walk out of the shuttle, we walk into the lobby and we take the elevator down. We get met with the beautiful hologram of the mighty Idris itself. As we're walking further into the halls, you'll be able to find all the new ships for this year's Invictus. We can see that this
kind of changing things around. Instead of a rotating daily roster, now they're going to have just a set layout for the whole week.
year's Invictus looks a little bit different than what we're used to. This year Invictus
like
will
this
not
armor.
feature different daily layouts,
kinda
but
hoping that
instead
there's
has
a
a
way to
better,
just buy it on the
well-crafted
side.
layout for the entire duration of Invictus. We can see that there's extra care being taken in the presentation of the ships. This really shows the might of the UEE. At the entrance of the halls, we can see the rental kiosks. This is where you'll this year be able to rent the various ships. Make sure to return to these kiosks as they are on a daily/bi-daily rotation. Invictus this year
and I think
is
that
not
that's the
just
part
about
that's weird to
ships,
me. Why is
but it's about the way that you customize your ships.
Why is the
how you
terminal
create your own
on a daily
experience
rotation,
with your vehicles,
but the
and how you truly make your
convention
vehicles
center is
run.
not?
So let's check out the Idris tour at Area 18 Central. As you walk and you look up, you can already see that the Idris is hanging straight above.
Yeah, what do you think, Schlag? Are you
We'll
going to
go
be able
towards
to
the
fly your
IO
interesting
North Tower
game
and
soon?
take the elevators up. As we continue over the platform, we get met with the Idris itself.
Notice this
Please
is the
take
one
some
that
time
does
to
not have the
explore.
railgun.
I'm super excited about Invictus this year. I think we've done something a little bit unexpected. I think the way that everything came together really clicked this year. I hope that the players will also see the care and love that we put into making this year's Invictus special.
I always feel special, CIG. You don't got to worry about that.
Overall, 411 is a big suite of ship combat content. It's been a little while since we've gotten to do something like this. We've heard some of the criticism that sometimes we're FPS citizens, and we hope this goes some way to help address it.
How do you
What about
feel
the
having
beam
this patch
citizen criticism?
sit on your shoulders?
I think it's a lot of pressure, but it's also very, very motivating. There's a lot of work to do, but we know we can do it. Just got to get it done.
Drake concept. I haven't actually seen anything about a Drake concept. I've seen the Anvil.
And as you can
Asgard.
see, this year's Invictus is going to operate just a little differently than years before. Now, in addition to the more than 60 new mission contracts being added to Alpha 411, there's also a new way to earn secondary currency for Wicklow and, in the future, his guild brethren, new ace pilots to test the mettle of our greatest flyers, and then, of course, our first tour of the Idris Peacekeeper and a more robust convention center than ever before. One that loses the rotating inventory to highlight all the ships arriving at this year's event simultaneously. There's also those new flight blades y'all have been talking about online, and even some weapon and item packs that'll let you breathe new life into existing vehicles like never before. You can learn all about that
Scorpius
stuff
missile
on the
turret.
robertspaceinitiatives.com website as the event starts proper on May 15th. And then it continues to cycle through all of our manufacturers every 2 days until the end of the event. That part stays the same. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee.
Or is
Thanks
that
for
just
letting
the
us share the
Drake
people
Defense Con?
and
'Cause they
process
always
of
do
game
Drake
development with
Defense
you.
Con
And we'll
after.
start learning about the last 4 vehicles making their debut at this year's event next week. And then the week after. It's a 2-week thing. One minute later. Oh,
No mustache.
and before I forget, the ISC team is hiring. We're looking for 2 more of the game capture folks. You know, those people that make the B-roll and stuff. You get to work in the most broken builds imaginable for like
DefenseCon
weeks
was
before you have a
canceled.
cut, and they're on NDA.
Huh.
So, and then you have to try to make unfinished stuff look
You know what?
great.
I'm just
It's
realizing
legit
I
some of the
haven't
hardest work
had
we've got. But boy, is it
this
cool
up.
and fun, and you get to work with some of
I
the
need my
best
logo.
people. Not me, but others. You know, you can find the listing at cloudimperiumgames.com/jobs. Hopefully it's right there at the bottom. Yeah, that'll do it.
I am actually thinking about putting in an application. But
Okay,
I don't
that's
think
it.
it would be very advisable to do so. All right, let's see if we can find some details about what's going on with Drake here. Where's the... Do they not have like a calendar breakdown? They usually do. All right, I'll pull up Discord again. Oh. Huh. Yeah, what do you know? Drake, right there. What do we have from Origin that is part of Fleet Week? I don't... Have they been part of previous Fleet Weeks? I guess the 300 series? I mean, the 400i is overpowered. It gets used as a combat vehicle all the time because it's got massive shields. Alright. Neat. And, let's see. If you don't want to see spoilers, close your eyes. Because I want to see if I can find anything about this Drake concept being mentioned. Yeah, Pipeline hasn't talked about it then. Man, hover tanks, for real though. Like, why are we using vehicles with treads on them when we have the ability to make hover vehicles? That part doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I think a hover tank would be just so cool. Like, Battlefield 4 had a hover tank. This thing was awesome.
Lake in Hammerhead, you can actually get out of the tank and your character will fall into the water, and then you can get back into the tank, which is just going to maintain a nice level floating position above the water. You don't have too many opportunities to take advantage of this feature. However, the tunnel in Hammerhead does chip away the ice so that there's water underneath, and once that's done, tanks and other vehicles can't get through there, but the hover tank can still go through just fine. Now, obviously, the main difference between this and to get up on weird little mountain peaks and basically get some roadkills where soldiers just were not expecting a tank to get up to. Transitioning to...
I mean, a hover tank can strafe side to side, it can go front and back, it can still do all the tanky stuff like rotate. Man. You know, I actually have not played a whole lot of PlanetSide. I can't say I've never played it because I did play it for like a week. But I didn't play it enough to get any kind of respectable at it. YouTube, what are we doing? What kinds of ads are these? Get rid of these. Ugh. When did YouTube turn into GoonTube?
Hey guys, Level Cap here, and today we're going to be talking about combat
it's so
tanks
funny that
in
it's the same
PlanetSide 2.
YouTuber.
In this clip here, we're sort of traveling in a large
everything.
tank battalion. Wrathage is playing with me. I have a few other YouTubers in here. And we're assaulting this small Vanu base, and it is just an awesome spectacle to see all these tanks moving out through the desert. This is something...
Yeah, hover tank win. Alright, so we've done some engineering stuff to start off. We put the ship mostly together. We reviewed some Star Citizen content. Show is progressing faster than I thought it would, which is actually kind of a good thing. I do have a hard cap tonight. I've got to be done at midnight because I'm actually going to my grandmother's funeral tomorrow where I will be speaking as one of her grandchildren, so I need to give myself time after the stream to finish consolidating the thoughts that I'm going to deliver at the funeral. So it is kind of good that this is moving forward. But what I actually wanted to do tonight is not actually play Star Citizen. I want to play a little bit of Destiny 2 because they have a few updates that are out now. And one of them is really cool to me personally because it adds in some very cool armor sets that I hope you guys will mutually enjoy with me. I have the Force, guys. Got to move past the loading screen. I've played a little bit of this season, but I have not played... I have not pulled out what I'm about to show you guys. That phrasing could be better. Getting 270 frames,
Hey,
260,
pick up.
270 frames.
You're running with me on this hack job. You know how Hive computers work? Biotech. You're good for nothing ghost, buddy. Can't crack that code.
I think I must have done something to bug this game a little bit because it's doing random voice lines like all the time now. Wait, what do I have with you?
Your return honors me, Guardian.
Oh, is this one of those? Fine, whatever. Infuse that. I'm a big kid now. Alright. So Destiny added some really cool armor sets here. From a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, maybe we could be Darth Vader. And Kylo Ren, me. But General Grievous, let's go! This is probably the coolest thing to come out in a long, long time. Let's see. Oh, come on. So I'm only going to unlock the Vader stuff for now. Well, might as well unlock it all. I do have 3 characters, 1 for each class, but I hardly ever play as them. But hey, at least now when I do, I'll have a chance of looking good. Crap, now I gotta find it. There we go. I am not excited for Marathon. I really could care less Even when they announced it at the start, it was like, meh. I'm not huge into extraction shooters anyways. So it's just, like, I don't really care. This might be the tough part. I think I need to get the chest piece equipped in order to get the cape to show up. Which means I'm going to have to do a non-exotic.
What an interesting little old file. Hardly any encryption at all. I'll have to investigate later.
Darth Vader's thick. I'm reminded that I was using a female character. I can't remember why I changed it. There was some kind of reasoning I had for myself, but that cape doesn't look fantastic. I was hoping it would drape more. Did I just get conned out of some money? I mean, it does actually look pretty good. Let's make sure we got the right shaders on. Yeah, and like the art style, what's going on with that, man? Marathon, like, I feel like it looked presentable in a previous thing that they were doing. There we go. Got to get the super black equipped. I think that actually fixes the legs. And I already had super black on that one. Guessing I don't have the right... Yeah, I had the wrong shader on that. There we go. Now everything's blacked out. The sad part about this though is like I really want to keep my Hoyle equipped because it's just such a good piece. Kind of screws up the look. Let's see what's a lore reason we can use to justify why Vader doesn't have his cape on. Maybe he's doing incognito mode. So he wants to be a little less flashy. Gotta put my gamer glove on. Okay, yeah, so back to Marathon though. It's an extraction shooter. So I already have a very minimal level of care. Like, I've played Tarkov on and off, much less since all the stuff came out about the blatant cheating. So it's like, I feel like I could just keep blaming that, but you know, blame that for my poor performance. But it just feels icky, knowing that literally a third is cheating. But that's not actually on Bungie, is it? That's entirely different company. Other extraction shooters haven't seemed to meet the same level of intrigue, and so that's another thing that you know, kind of works against it. Inspect the... Okay, there we go. Alright, you guys want to see how abysmal I am at Destiny 2 match-made gameplay? I'm not good. I'll warn you right now, I am not good. And then I get really particular about art style. I much prefer realism over anything else, which has been the cause of many very expensive bad decisions in my life. Look, see, we're getting this same line again. What the heck? And Marathon was clearly going for more of a kind of anime techno look. I don't know. It didn't vibe with me. Everything felt too plastic. And then with the most recent reveal of what it actually looks like, it does not look good, in my opinion. I think Bungie is capable of really great storytelling, and I prefer when they focus on that. Nice. I'm on the Briggs. This is a new game mode they added specifically for an event. So, get some Mech Warrior gameplay. Okay, this is actually kind of hard. Okay, I don't know what the coins are. They seem important. Man, you gotta lead like crazy for these. Oh! Stay out of my way! There we go. Gotta treat it like a raid. Oh, we traded. I think I got 2 kills in that life, though. I don't know if it gave me credit for them. Whoa! Where'd you come from, brother? Okay, he wiped the floor with me. Whoa! Oh, another trade. Okay, and so I have access. I'm trying other buttons to see what my options are, and it's really just the one cannon. This is like a textbook example of like when you go off against a boss in the game versus when they join your team. Okay, I want one of those coins. Whoa, how'd you do that? I've been trying to sprint all day. He did that little dash. Where they at? Where they at? Okay, this cannon also has like terrible attack angles. Like if you're any way above or below your target, you're hitting the rocks. I'm really struggling trying to work around that. You would think Star Citizen would have given me more practice in that, because you have the same problem with a lot of those too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah! Give it to me! Hold still. Hold still. Let me shoot you. I want a 3-piece. Yes! Let's go! If that hit though, that would have been a good shot. I missed, but did you see that snap shot? Okay, how is he doing the thing? He just used like an alternate firing mode. How do I do that? Okay. I just found the right button. It's E. Give it to me! Give it to me! I want it! We won! Hey, match is over. You already lost. Don't be a sore loser. Stop shooting me. Yeah, look at that. Vader's looking good, man. Alright, so I'll probably play a bit more of that later on. I am going to have to force myself to grind through it, even though I don't really like multiplayer, because we now get a Sparrow that can shoot.
Hey, pick up. You're running with me on this hack
Okay,
job.
I'm gonna let him run through this line and see if it will make it go away.
Good for nothing ghost, buddy. Can't crack that code. But I figured it out. Thanks to a few friends in low places. Some graves. And Osiris gave me a few tips. Sounds like he's got experience. Weird dude.
He is.
All we need is a few bloody stumps. Forward in your first target, killer.
I don't think you're supposed to call him that, dude. The heck?
Listen, I heard what you've been hearing on the Dreadnought.
Man, has he just been like saving these lines from between my missions? What the heck, man?
Days than all my years with the Taken. Whispers in the dark. From the deep, that ain't her. If Eris was still alive, we'd know. Let it die.
So, I mean, it looks cool, but I've literally never found a good use for glaives. I probably just don't know how to use them right, but this sniper rifle that I've got is pretty sick. I've been vibing with that a lot. Gains damage every time you make a precise shot. Where is the thing I was looking for? Let's see. It'll tell me here. Yeah, complete the hive hacking Side quests. Okay, those I think were... I don't know where these are. Oh, there you go. All right, let's take this on. You see that? Been hitting the gym, gaining some muscle. Only mostly kidding there. I have actually been going to the gym. Got to get those gains, right? Set it to this one. Hey, CIG, if you're watching... It's not that hard to make hover bikes feel good. I mean, I don't think this is perfect, but I have a lot more fun driving a Sparrow than I do driving any of the hover bikes in Star Citizen. Because I don't die needlessly. I know CIG wants to make a really in-depth system for everything, and hover bikes included, right? But sometimes it doesn't need to be that complicated. Where'd you go? So the cool thing about this sniper rifle is every time you make a crit shot, it adds to this master boon that you see in the bottom left of my screen. And you can get up to a 73% damage boost. And then it also increased the aim assist the higher you get the streak. Of course, you need to not have potato aim to start with. Oh, see that? Sneaky headshot. I find it also really favors kind of flick aiming. So if you're just kind of quick with it, it's better than if you're like trying to hard scope. I'm sure someone like Shroud would just have a field day. These have been popping up, and I don't really know what they are, but when I pop them, it gives me sigil. There we go. Hey, look, I can hit something. Good thing it doesn't penalize you for missing. Otherwise, I would never get a damage boost with this. Hey, welcome to chat, Steltech. How you doing? Steltech, you'll love this. Check this out. Boom! Darth Vader! I'm Darth Vader, but hot. Is that a D1 reference? Because I'll be honest, no idea what you're talking about. Man, that aim. There we go. Oh, did I just come the wrong way? I totally did. I got baited. My aim may be that of a potato, but I love the sniper rifle. Okay, spooky moaning. I need more special ammo. There we go. That's the effect I wanted. Woo! That was close. If I die, I lose my streak, and then I lose my damage boost. You need to chill out, sir. Nightfall cheese memories? Oh, for sure, man. Like, is this how they wanted me to kill everything? No. Of course not. They wanted me to struggle. Streakers, though, man. Or streakers, not streakers. Streakers would be bad too. If there were streakers in Destiny 2, it would not be a children's safe game. Shriekers with an H, not T. The later it gets in the night, the worse my pronunciation becomes. Oh, hello. Eat that. Hello. And goodbye. Alright, where'd you go, witch? Stop hiding from me. Just let me... I'm over here. Stop. Stop using my own tactics against me. I really want to get, like, above a 50. I know it goes higher than... Because, like, it went Master, then Grandmaster. But I haven't been able to get it above 50. I'm gonna take the long way back and, try and coax it up higher. Yeah, I completely missed all of D1. My buddy played it. I naively thought at the time that Call of Duty was offering me more content. And I hadn't yet realized that it was just the same game reskinned every year. Oh, there you went. I was wondering. Would you stop that? I want to shoot you in the face. See, now you made me miss. Would you chill out, sir? Well, they've re-added most of those raids now. Like, Vault of Glass is in D2 now. It's a little different, but I have gotten to play it. Alright, we're close to getting this above 50. Close and yet so far away with that kind of aim. Okay, so it just increases Grandmaster, I guess, past 50. So now we need to go get these other bones. I feel like that one should have hit, but You know what I think it is? I think it's a little bit of a pause in your movement. Like just a split second of lifting the finger increases the accuracy a lot. Oh, I remember this place. It's gonna make me run. Every time it makes me come down here, there's always like a time trial to get back out. How do I take your shield down, ma'am? Oh look, I can just skip you. I think I'll do that instead. Oh, wait. I feel like that might have been a bad move. Is this one of those things where, like, you have to get them in a certain order? I'd really prefer you stop running from me. Just take your medicine. Shrieker there. Dinklebot? I have no idea what you're talking about with Dinklebot. Is that like a pet name for one of the bosses? Okay, I see these sigils scattered around. I'm guessing I have to pop them all. Is there really not one down here? Guess not. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Peter Dinklage did voice. Alright, your butt is mine, sir. Hold still. Ooh, that's nasty. Two shots. So it didn't actually make me run out of here. I get to just take a casual stroll. Kind of a breath of fresh air, honestly, because I hate the missions that make me run up this thing. Mostly because I can never do them first try. Yeah, we got 6 viewers on YouTube. Welcome, guys. How you doing? Oh. Sorry if that's the first thing you saw. That was a terrible shot. Alright, we need one more. Take me there, Ghost. We're gonna walk, though, because I want to keep getting this streak higher. Man, when even body shots kill stuff, you know, you've just broken everything. No scope crit, let's go. Nice little collateral, wasn't it? Be cool if I could pull that off in multiplayer lobbies. Feel like that should have been a crit, but whatever, they're still dead. Oh, it was probably because of their shield, huh? That's right. It's not just my terrible aim. And then suddenly we're down to 2 viewers. But are you not entertained? What the heck? Oh no. No. Okay. You gotta do Altars of Sorrow. Oh man. That was close. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Have to use another gun for once. Okay, what the heck? Where's the next one? Oh, I got what I needed. Stick around for a little bit though, because I'm so close to maxing this out. I just want to be able to say that I did it. There we go. Yep. Grandmaster 100. There we go. Now let's immediately leave. No, it is here. I hate it when it takes you out of the menu you're looking at. Invaders never look so cool. And that's kind of the thing when you turn in everything all at once, right? Just get all of them. Okay, what's up next? Board the Dreadnought and disable the weapon. Complete the mission Kludge. Oh. Okay, guess it is this.
The call I felt emanating from the deep was not for us, or anyone. It was a beacon of want and purpose, sounding from whatever new entity now inhabits the deep. Drifter has located the source. Make no mistake, it is a gift. This we take for ourselves.
Oh, I screwed that up. It's okay. Not dead yet. Probably dead now. I am really confused by this story. Because Eris, who was just talking, is dead, and I must have missed the part where she's not. Oh. They got me. You're not supposed to just keep falling. Oh, no. Okay, so you do fall down this one. That's a little unnecessary. Oh! Goodness! It's gonna be one of those missions, huh? Alright. What's over here? Is there a reason to go through the stabby tunnels? You know, do bad guys ever think about, like, why are they setting up obstacle courses for the good guys? Wait. Oh. No bad guys to fight for that? Alright. Oh. I am really confused. What's going on?
But there are often more paths than one to victory.
They just got teleported. I don't know why. These guys move too fast for me to want to snipe them all. I'm withstanding that corruption. I'm
ready to face any horror the Dreadnought can produce.
so
turn
confused.
them away with your fury.
Alright. You know what? If you're happy, I'm happy, Eris. I'm just glad I could help. I have no idea what I did there. I'm confused beyond belief. I feel like there were some cutscenes I were supposed to play that really didn't. And I didn't skip any, so I don't know what's going on. Let's go back to the shaping slab, though, I guess. Wait, no, it is still there. What? Says there's something for me at the shaping slab. Let's go see what it is. Oh, geez. So there's two... There's two trees to work through. I can, like, change what I'm working for, I guess. I had no idea what the difference is between these, though. You know, I guess this is what happens when you jump into a season way late into the game. Last time I was in this area, you don't get any regen. It's cool, it made it challenging, but it was also really annoying. Doesn't look like that's being applied here, though.
Guardian, you have what you need. Hive systems are disgusting, but effective. The Dreadnought's power is immense, but we can break its hold over its own weapons and turn it against itself. Disconnecting the aversion anchors will stop them from dragging us all into the Ascendant Plane. Show the Taken who's in control.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's great. I don't like that. That's gross. But you know what? It's not in my back pocket anymore, so I guess that's better, right? Oh, and this room had a bunch of debuffs being applied. It was not a great experience. Eat that. Yep, that is disgusting. Your throne. This place is mine now. Escape the dreadnought and survive to tell the tale.
I am the Taken King, the first navigator. I rise from the deep. Zevor Wrath, what has become of our war? Slain.
Sadly, yes, Dr. Brother. You're just the memory of a dead god. The sword you always wanted to become.
I only just mantled myself by the death of Akka. Carved my throne from the worm's corpse. If I am destroyed, then I deserve extinction. My heir, my killer. Step forward.
Stop acting like children, the both of you. We are finally free.
Hey, shut up, Savathun. Sounded like he was gonna give me something cool. Ah, crap. Yep.
Sharpen their knives, that their lie may become my logic's truth.
Oh, I have no ammo left. Alright, that sucks. There's my ship. Well, that was cool. Thanks. Thanks for that, Trap.
Figured I owed you an explanation before I went dark. I'll make it quick. I tried to find a way to bring her back.
Oh.
Don't ask
Space
me what
actually
I
follows
did,
you.
but it didn't work. So I thought to myself, hey, I got what I always got. What's left for me anyway? Knew it'd happen again. I was a fool to hope, but I couldn't help myself. I just wanted you to know it's nothing personal. It's all me. This is who I am. Always has been. So, don't come looking. I was already halfway gone.
Alright, cool, dude. Have fun.
Now we know what we're dealing with. An echo of the Navigator. A memory of Oryx. And not the one we remember. He woke up the Dreadnought and launched the anchors. The Taken are here because of him. And the Dread are working with him. His knife. Eris's killer. But you've caught Oryx's attention. The Echo didn't know you killed him. Now he does. And he's impressed. That means he's distracted. He wants to test you. Use that. Right now, Xivu Arath and Savathun are mobilizing. Their brother's flagship is a battlefield. And Drifter's gone. We have twice the trouble and half the support. Losing Eris was hard on him. We show who we are in hard times. We...
Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to close that out. Oh, well. Now I do what exactly? Investigate the Court of Blades. New horrors abound on the Dreadnought. Yay! $35 of 200 in this case. I need to do some inventory sorting. To use that. I'm not going to use that. Air trigger. Yeah, that's kind of a terrible perk. So just don't care about that one. Slaves, you. Reciprocity, what does that one do? When healing projectiles from this weapon. Oh. Hip firing at allies while this weapon is charged heals them. Oh, okay. That could be really useful if I had friends to play this game with. I'll just stow that for now. Alright. Let's go see what fresh hells wait for us in the Court of Blades. I don't see any reason why I should be keeping these Coda plates. They're all like 60, and I just like, it's just not good.
Welcome to the new High War, Knife of my Slay. My sister apprised me of your triumphs. Our logic is proved in violence, but many pretenders found your sovereignty. You lost as a protest.
Okay. I should probably switch my loadout to something a little more helpful. What do I gotta do? Oh. Sorry guys, I'm slow on the uptake, aren't I?
A death tithe must be paid. The deepest sin of all the same. The strongest must assume the taken throne. So was this or shall
Oh, that's lame. I hate Shriekers. They are the worst. Oh, I think it's also immune just because it is, shielded. I should have been catching that. Oh man, potato aim. I'm kind of confused what's happening right now. Nope. Alright. Switch up the loadout. Want something that I can turn to in a pinch. That was a lot of fire. For over there, dude. How do we pop those shields? Oh, okay. One of these things. Oh, now which one is it? Over here. pop that guy's ghost. Just let me respawn. Don't worry about coming and getting me. There. That's how you get it done. Alright, I don't know what that did. Missing something. Alright, still kind of what's going on. Did we do good? Act 2, Rites of the Deep, Rift investigated. Alright, I think that's probably going to do it for tonight. I need to figure out what's going on. I'm so lost in this story right now. But if you enjoyed what you saw today, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. Let me know what you think in the comments below. There we go. Click the button. Odd job. Hey, look, you can do it. Once again, a special shout out to our channel members. Your support enables me to make quality content like this, where I am utterly confused as to what's going on in Destiny 2. But until next time, this is your host, Oddjob Entertainment, signing off.